What's up, Realtors? It's 2025, and I finally was able to get around to getting the brand new full Lofty CRM overview with the new user interface as of 2025. So if you're new to Lofty, you're definitely going to want to watch this video because I'm going through every single tab and showing you how every single feature and function of the Lofty CRM works. So that way you can start off strong with absolute clarity on how this awesome CRM of Lofty works. Make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on any awesome Lofty tutorials, and comment below on any questions that you guys have in the Lofty CRM, and I'll make sure to answer them in a video. So without any further ado, let's jump right into the tutorial. All right, so here we are on the Lofty dashboard. So up here you see the Lofty logo here. That actually is the button that'll always take you back to this dashboard. So if you just hit that, it keeps you right back to the screen. You got your options here for people and segments, transactions, calendar, listing, marketing, reporting, website, marketplace, and settings. We're going to go through each one of those tabs individually and make sure you get a good understanding on all of it. So to start up here with the company dashboard, you're going to see that we have leads, opportunities, tasks, and business goal. So this is going to show you in the new leads section any new leads that came in today and any that still need to be contacted. In your opportunities, that's going to be anybody who's been browsing on your website, engaging with you in some way, shape, or form through the CRM, through the website. Those will present themselves as opportunities. And how Lofty determines that is through their AI that they have integrated into the system that kind of measures the lead's activity and then gives them a score. The higher the score, the better off the lead is, or the more likely they're going to buy or sell. Then the next box over here is tasks. So this is going to be any tasks that you have set to come up. So whether these are calls, emails, texts, any manual tasks will show up here. Any automated tasks that are going to be performed automatically will not show up here. So this is basically like your section to see what do you need to manually do inside the CRM today. Everything else we want to be automated. Okay. So this next one here is the business goal. Now, you may or may not have the option to see this one, but if you're on a separate instance account of Lofty, meaning that you buy Lofty on your own, or you're on a team, you'll probably have access to this. But if you're on a user account through like a major brokerage like EXP or LPT, you might not have this enabled. And that's just because it's basically puts in all of the agents' information in here and what their goals are going to be. So in order to set one of these up, you would just click start, and you could set the goal here by volume, closings, GCI, or revenue. And you can say the goal of each month could be divided equally, or it would be custom between each individual agent, right? Now, I don't have anybody on my team, so I would just say my goal, let's just say my goal here would be 20 closings, right? So we could come over here and put 20 in there and click save. And then it's going to bring up like a calendar here. So we're going to start tracking our closings through the transactions section over here, and then it'll be able to monitor our goal and tell us, hey, you're on track, or nope, you need to get more closings this month to stay on track, etc. So that's pretty cool there and lets you show some reporting. All right, so now you can see that since I went ahead and filled that out, it shows I have 0 of 20 deals there, and it's kind of there as like your accountability buddy, right? Where you can just show you if you're on track or not. And then right below here is going to be your smart listings. So any listings that pop up are going to show up here. I don't have any listings on here because I'm just on a demo account right now, and we'll actually set some stuff up inside this demo account so you can really see how Lofty is going to work. But right now there's no listings showing up here. If there were listings showing up here, you'd be able to do things like manage the listing on social media and create posts and run ads and do all that stuff right from here. And then over here is going to be your MLS. So basically any hot listings, right? Like upcoming open houses, back on market, and price reduced. So those will all show up right there. Nothing showing up there once again because I'm on a demo account and I don't have an MLS hooked up to this. Next here is going to be the smart plans. So however many smart plans you sent out yesterday, this is like your quick report. Same thing here with the property alerts. It's going to show you a quick report of what it did yesterday. You have an announcement section here. So if you're on a team and you need to announce to your agents, you can come in here and you can basically type whatever, create an announcement in there that you want to let everybody know about. Maybe you got a new lead source coming in, or you're going to round robin leads this month instead of blast. You can post that information there and it'll show up there for everybody who's on your team or in your ecosystem. That'll show up on there. Then they got the Lofty Learning Center here, so you can click here and basically go through some Lofty tutorial videos that Lofty has, or you can stick around with me and I'll keep showing you everything you need to know. And then next here, they have a little bit of ads here. So that right now they're saying, hey, if you refer somebody, you can get some money back. So then down here is going to be your email. So this is just going to show your usage for the email. And if you've got a call plan or a dialer, that'll show up in a green box over here too and say how many calls or texts you have left for the for the month. And then some more advertisements down here. But that's pretty much the dashboard section. Over here on the right-hand side, this is kind of like our communication hub. So this star pattern over here, this is actually for the Lofty AI. Now, I got a free trial of this right here, and this is for the Lofty Assistant. So you can do things like check your inbox messages, merge duplicate leads, and add notes to leads. But that is just a free trial. So if you end up using that fully, then you're going to need to pay for that, and we'll go over what that's going to cost. If you have a dialer package and you click this button right here, it'll open up a dialer there where you can make calls. And then here's going to be all your communications and notifications. So text, any missed calls, anything like that are going to show up right here. And then up here in the right-hand corner, you're going to have a search function. So you can just search anything here. You've got this section here, which is basically like your communications page. It's almost just like where all of your notifications and communications are. And then over here is going to be your opportunities, which also shows notifications as well. But any opportunities will show up here, your task reminders, transactions, everything is right there underneath that bell. Then the question mark here will open up this menu where you can ask a question to the Lofty bot here, or you can go to some show me how articles, help center, learning center. You can scroll down here. You can call support, and you can even chat with support. All right, and then here's where your profile's at, so you can add or switch an account, see where you're at in your guided setup, look at the billing center, product awards, earn rewards, or you can just go ahead and log out if you want. All right, so the next tab over here is going to be the people and segments. Think of segments like groups, okay? So let's just go ahead and start off on the people side. Okay, so here's the people page. So I haven't put any leads in here yet. We're going to do that right here in just a second. But this is where you're going to get the overview of your leads and even the pipelines and stuff. So down here you have your pipelines. So this is the journey that the lead goes on, right? Like a lead comes in as a new lead. You give them a call, they don't answer. They move into attempting contact. Well, let's say you give them a call and they do answer and they say, hey, you know what? I'm going to be 6 to 12 months out. You can put them over here in a nurturing or cold. And you can even split these two into their own. I'll show you guys how to do that in just a second. If they're super close, like 3 to 6 months out, you can put them into warm. If they're from 0 to 3 months out, you can put them into hot. If they're ready to book an appointment, you can put an appointment. Once you start showing them and you have that initial buyer agency, you can put them here. And then when they go under contract, you can put them into pending, right? And then when you close them, they go into close. And if they're bad leads, you can put them there. And if they don't want to be contacted, you can put them there. Now, we can also edit this, okay? So if we click this little gear cog here, you're going to see that I can not only adjust these and change where they're at in the pipeline, but I can add a new pipeline here as well. Okay, so let's just go ahead and split this nurturing cold one up. So let's go ahead and ditch that, right? We'll just delete that, and then I'll do nurture, and we'll say okay, and then we'll go cold. Okay, and then now we've added that successfully, okay? And now you'll see those show up down here on the bottom, and then we just bring these up, and you can put them wherever we want, right? So we can put them there, bring that cold up, bring them right there, drop warm there, and looks like we're good to go. Okay, so now we can save that, and then you'll see those all show up right there. So you can adjust that pipeline, but if you're like on an EXP version of this or like an LPT, or you're just a user under an administrator, they may have set these up the way that they want, and you won't see this gear here because you can't edit that, and you just got to work with what they gave you. But just think of that as the journey that the lead takes, okay? All right, and this next tab up here is going to be your views. So just think of these as leads that fit a certain criteria. They can show up in these views, right? So for instance, today's new leads. All the leads that came in today would show up in a list right here. If they've been in the system for more than a day, then they disappear out of this list, right? Any leads that you put in the system that you haven't contacted are going to show up right here, okay? And then once you contact them or say that you've contacted them, then they'll disappear out of that list. Need to touch, same thing. You can set a reminder for a certain time, and when that reminder expires and it's been a certain time since you've touched that lead, they'll show up in this list here. Okay, so this is just a little list that you can make to segment leads in a little bit more of a detailed fashion. Once again, below here is for the journey, but this is for filtering out leads to specific segments, okay? And then now you're gonna also know up here, we have segments, and these are like groups. So this is where you can actually set up the groups, right? So if you have first-time home buyers, you can put them here, right? If you have vendors or referrals or sphere of influence, this is where you would put all of that information, okay? Now, if you come over here, you can add a view. And the way that you would add a view is you can create one by setting up a filter. Okay, so if you look over here next to that gear cog, you see filters. Now you can filter in Lofty leads out based on anything, sources, tags, whatever. You can see they give you a huge list here, okay? So you can create a view, like let's say that you wanted to filter out all buyer leads that came in from, Facebook, okay? And then now you've created that filter and those leads would all show up in that filter. And if you just click create view, you could do FB buyers and then save that to private or company if you're on a team and you want everybody to be able to see that list. Otherwise, you just click private and confirm, and then now that's going to show up over here, okay? So now you'll see FB buyers, okay? So this is how we create those views. And then if you want to add a lead, it's just right over here, this blue button here. You can import leads, you can export leads, or you can add a lead manually. And when you go to add a lead manually, this pop-up will show up here, and you can choose the privacy of the lead. So if you're on a user account for a team or a brokerage and you're bringing your own lead in that's not supplied by that brokerage or by that team, you can choose to hide the details of that lead so that lead stays private to you. This is a really cool function that's not really available in a lot of the other CRMs. But Lofty's, shown that they do care about your privacy and your leads as well, so you do get that option there. Now, they may be able to toggle that on or off as your administrator, so if you don't see that button there, that's why the administrator has it toggled off. The lead owner can be personal or company. Now, obviously, you want to keep them personal if they're for you, but if you're going to be on a team or a broker and you're going to be passing out leads, you'd want to have whatever leads you want to pass around as company leads so you can pass them around to the company. You can always reassign that later. And then you got your lead type here, so you can just choose whatever that is, and then you can just add a first name. So we'll do, let's say Jonathan Doe. All right, so you can just pop that in there, make sure you spell it right, put an email address in. This might not even let me save it because it's actually going to try to validate that email address when we go to click save, and it'll probably say it's wrong. So let's go back up here and add our phone number. Actually, let's put this one in there. There we go. And then you can put what type of the phone it is, landline or whatever, which I usually just leave that as is. And then the consent to contact. So the person that you're putting in, if they've given you consent to contact, and you would change these all to yes. You can put their street address in here. You can put any rental properties that they might have, their birthday. You can choose the source. So we can say that this person came in from a door knock, right? And then you can put them anywhere in the pipeline that you want. If you leave that blank, it'll just default to new. You can choose a segment to put them in as well. Let's say this person's a sphere of influence. So you can check that, and they'll automatically go into that segment there. Then you can choose here what agent you'd like to assign it to. So if you got agents on your team, you can also add tags. So if you want, if you know something specific about this person and you want to tag them so they can go on a specific journey, you can add that tag there. And then we also can put them on a smart plan right away as well. And then you can choose their buying time frame, whether they're pre-qualified, house to sell, and you can actually customize a lot of this stuff and add things to this as well. Then you have the option to send a welcome email. So you can go ahead and click that, and it'll automatically send a welcome email to them. If you want to add a family member, you can click here, and it gives you another option to add that family member, okay? And then at the end, you just go ahead and click save. But here I added a family member, so go ahead and click save. There we go. The lead is created successfully, and then they would start showing up here. If we go ahead and get rid of that list there, you'll see Jonathan Doe shows up there, okay? So this is kind of like an overview of the leads. We have all of these different columns here, right? Where they're at in the pipeline. We can change their pipeline if we want there. We can change the lead owner if we want. We can change the agent that they're assigned to. We can see their contact information, whatever we want. And the cool part is this is editable. So if you come over here, you're going to see like this little checkerboard with the pin next to it. This is where we can edit these, and we can drag stuff back and forth, and you can see it moving around right there on the screen. We can even add stuff. We can take stuff out so there doesn't have to be so much stuff in there if you want to keep it nice and slim and clean, which is what I like to do. So then you can eliminate a lot of that stuff there. But this is like your overview of the lead here. All right, and then if we click on a lead, it's going to open up this screen here. Now, this screen here is basically divided into a couple of sections. So you have this block over here, which is going to show you all the lead information. You can move them through the pipeline. You can choose a segment. You can call, text, or email them directly from here. You can see their details are right here. If you need to edit them, you can just click that button there. It'll pull up all their details again, and you can edit that if you need to change anything. If you look up here, it'll show that they're a buyer. Obviously, their name's here in bold. If you go ahead and click on this box here or the three dots here, you're going to see we can do a whole bunch of stuff here. All right, we can add market snapshots, add smart plans. So this is kind of like your hot buttons here, where you can go anywhere really quickly without having to navigate in the other sections of that. And you can even edit or delete the lead from this section as well by scrolling down here and seeing that. If you need to add a family member after you've already saved the lead, then you can go ahead and add it there, and then you can view all the full details on that as well. It'll even try to find them on their social networks. So if you put their information in and their email that they gave you is the same that they have their social media registered to, it'll try to find their social network info for you as well. And then right there, we have the lead scoring. So this is where the AI says, gives it a score based on the validity of the phone numbers, the actions that they're taking online, etc. Will tell you some insights on whether or not they're good leads. You can also put their search criteria in here. So let's just say that we were looking at a minimum of 300 to 600,000. And we were looking in Denver, and it's not going to show up because I don't have the MLS hooked up. But I want, let's say, a single family home, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. You can save that, and that criteria will show up there. Okay. And then it's just a really cool way to keep everything organized. Here you can do all the assignings. So you can actually bring your lender in, and they can even help you pay for this platform if you want. If you go to send an invite to a lender, depending on what area you're in, you could share that cost with your lender. And then they can basically get certain views inside of Lofty, but they don't get a full seat to where they can operate like we do. But it's pretty cool if you want to assign a lender to people and, keep them in the loop on stuff. So this next section over here, we have a couple of tabs, right? And then we have this center box here. So this is the activities tab. So this is going to be any activities that happen inside the lead are going to show up here. We can filter it out. We can go over here to see our notes. We can see our calls. We can click here to see just the emails, just the text, just searching for anything, what they viewed online. So if they're searching for homes, if they've viewed certain homes, if they've favorited homes, if they've requested any showings, and this is a system log. So anything that I do, like if I move myself through the pipeline, it'll start showing up on the system log once we refresh the screen. And then the consent just says that I added them manually. So if you're ever wondering like how this lead landed in my database, you can see this consent box here, and it'll show you how they came into the system, if they were manual or if they registered online, whatever. Over here in these boxes, you got your appointments. So you can add an appointment here, and any appointments will show up there. So if you've also integrated your calendar in, which I'll show you guys how to do on here in just a bit, you can actually add these appointments right here and see them. And then tasks, these are going to be super important because you always want to be adding tasks anytime you're in a lead. If you can just get used to doing this one thing, then very few things will fall through the cracks, okay? So if you just click add here, you can add any type of task that you want. You can say, call lead or whatever, and then you can select call here. You can say what time. You can even be reminded on a specific time by text, like an hour before it's due, that says, hey, Adam, you need to call this lead right now, and that'll go off at 9 a.m. So if I wanted to save that, that'll just show up right there, okay? All right, now back up to these tabs here. You go to the engagement. This is where you're going to see property alerts, market snapshots, market reports, and home reports. Then we can set up all of these to automatically go out to the lead, and it's really easy to do so. You just click new alert. It's going to show up here. You can either choose the city or you can draw a polygon around the map there. Once again, I don't have my MLS hooked up, so it doesn't show up. Not many listings show up here. And then you can choose your location over on this side and put all your search criteria in and just go ahead and name that alert. Put your subject in, choose the frequency for which you want to send that alert to, and click save. And then that alert will be set up over here, and then it'll start sending them out daily on whatever time or date that you wanted to send that out on. If you come over here, this is where your smart plans are. So this is where the automations come into play, where you can actually send automated drip campaigns, text campaigns. You can even send direct marketing and have it automatically happen. And we can trigger these automatically based on certain tags, sources, or however they come in. So I'll show you guys how to do all of that here too. In another video. Next tab is the transactions and the documents. So you can hold documents in here for the transactions and your leads, and you can actually monitor the transaction through here as well. And then finally, up on the top here, you're going to see where you can talk to the Lofty bot and you can ask it certain things. This is like that co-pilot function I talked about. Once again, this is a free trial. Otherwise, this is a paid feature out of Lofty. So we'll just exit out of that. All right, so that is the people tab. Coming over here to the transactions tab, this is where all your transactions will be housed. You can see here, we can see all transactions, just purchases, listings, lease, or other. And to add a transaction, you would just click this button, type your transaction name in, associate it with the lead, choose you as the owner, what type of transaction it is, and what stage you're in, and then you just click save, and it will basically save that transaction. It probably won't let me save anything here, but let's just try this on the demo account here. Let's link that and search the associated lead. We're going to find John Doe, make him the one, and then now we save that. And it's going to bring us into this transaction where it says you can create an offer link for the property now and list it on your MLS for offer submission instructions. So you can do that, or you can just click no. You're going to see here we've got all the dates that we can fill out here. We've got property information, checklists, accounting. We've got contacts that you can add into it. There's documents. There's offers that you can put in there, and just the history of the whole transaction itself. Up here, you can see we can edit the transaction. We can generate a CDA, or we can just delete the transaction, and we can move the transaction through its stages right here. Okay, and this becomes important for when we're setting up automated drip campaigns for past clients that want to remind them of home anniversaries and stuff like that. We want to always monitor those dates, and it also helps follow that goal that we talked about in the beginning of the video. All right, and then when you close it, you just put your sale price in, your GCI, everything like that, and go ahead and click confirm, and then that information will show up inside the lead. And that is basically how those transactions work. You can get pretty dialed into those, so I'll go into a more detailed version of this later on, but that's the gist of it right there. Next tab is the calendar. So this is where all of the calendar is going to show up. So any calendar that you integrate in here, it's all going to show up right here. You also have a task section here where all your tasks are going to show up. And this is where you're going to make sure that you do not drop anything through the cracks, right? We're setting tasks in every lead that we go into. So those tasks will show up here, and we know exactly what we need to do today, what we're overdue on, and what's coming up. So that's pretty awesome. And then they have a showing calendar as well. So any showings that you've confirmed through the system will show up right here. And you can also see an overview of everything right here on this left-hand side menu. All right, going over to listings now. This is where all your listings are going to show up, and they'll show up right here, and you'll be able to manage the information on the list. Lofty has a la carte ads that you can purchase on there, from Google to Facebook to whatever you could possibly want. So that's all right there in front of you, and you can manage your listings, build your landing pages, and do a whole bunch of really cool stuff. If you need to add a manual listing, you can go ahead and do it there, but otherwise these will automatically show up based on your MLS. Next tab here is the marketing tab. Now this is a pretty detailed one, so it's got its own individual dashboard here, all right? So you can see all your buyer lead gen that's coming in, your seller lead gen that's coming in. If you're on a listing blast, which is basically promoting one of your listings, that's going to show up there too. You can see your direct mailing tools, a Lofty Present, which is a way to basically create a CRM and a presentation, and it's really interactive and it's pretty cool. That is an extra fee as well, by the way. Landing pages you got there. You can see which landing pages are performing the best, and your open houses and any text codes you've got. But you're going to see on the left-hand menu here, we got a whole bunch of stuff. So we've got the whole Lofty AI right here, which if you want to choose to pay for the Lofty AI, this is where you would manage some of that. So it'll just tell you that you can basically purchase it. It's going to give you some ads on what's going on. They have the Copilot, which is what was showing up in the beginning there. So when you hear them say the Lofty AI Copilot, that bot that was asking me questions if I wanted to, move leads through my pipeline or write a note, that's what that was. And then the AI Sales Assistant. So this is their chat bot. So you would basically get a virtual number and a call plan, and then this chat bot you can program to go out there and try to convert your leads and qualify your leads and all of that good stuff. And then you can even connect it to your Facebook and your Facebook Messenger. But this is where that bot is. It's basically a chat bot there at that point in time that works inside the CRM. So kind of cool. I will show you guys a lot more information on that in another video as well. Next down is going to be the automation. So this is where our smart plans, our home reports, and our auto property alerts are. So smart plans are basically our drip campaigns and the way that we're going to nurture our clients. So you've got 3 tabs here. You've got My Smart Plans, Company Smart Plans, and the library. So Lofty does have a library full of a bunch of pre-templated smart plans. But these should be taken with a grain of salt, guys. You can use these to look at like frequency and stuff like that. But I would go in and revamp all of that to your sales style and your communication style and tonality to make those more personalized so they're more effective. But you can pick from there if you want. You can import those in. You just go ahead and save that once you click on import, and then it'll bring it in underneath your plans right here. So you can set those up. Those can be auto applied based on triggers, and I'll go through all of that stuff with you guys in some more videos here coming up pretty soon. So next one is the home reports. Home reports are basically like a HomeBot, right? It's going to show them their estimated value. It's like a CMA pretty much, but it's not a CMA. It's just to kind of send it out to an initial interested lead, and then they can respond to that, and then you can set that appointment to go out there. It's basically like HomeBot, kind of, where it just gives you a rough value of the home and kind of where they're at and what their mortgage balance is and all that good stuff there. And then we have auto property alerts. So anybody who comes onto your website and registers as a lead and they start searching for houses, the Lofty AI will monitor that, and then it'll automatically set them up on property alerts if you have this enabled. So to enable that, you would go ahead and enable this right here. Then you can exclude a source, you can exclude a certain pipeline, you can exclude, you can choose the property status there, so active or pending or whatever. And you can just customize that, and you can set it either for immediately after they register or 24 hours, which I would recommend 24 hours because then they can browse on a bunch of different homes, and then the Lofty AI will get an idea of what they're looking for and set them up automatically. Okay. Next is the market snapshot. You can enable that there as well. And this is just a market snapshot, right? So I set it up for all. So that way, once a month, they will be able to get a market snapshot of what's happening in their neighborhood. I send this to sellers and buyers that are interested in specific neighborhoods. Helps keep them on top of the market. And then you can go ahead and apply that. Next one is market reports. This is all the data like average price to close list or average list price to close ratio and all of that good stuff. Those are the stats here. So for your stats junkie, you can enable that there, and it'll just give them once a month for the inquired city that lead came in through. All right, and next is lead generation. So if you click here in buyer lead generation, this is where you can actually buy some leads, right? So you can create a Google PPC ads. You can do a whole bunch of stuff. And they have seller lead gen as well, so you can run PPC ads for sellers. You can even run remarketing ads, so you can do Facebook ads there as well. Okay, and then you can do Lofty Blast, which is like a zip code blast where you can basically market to a specific zip code. And then they have listing blasts. So if you have listings, you can do a listing blast and it'll promote that listing, and it's just basically running paid ads through Lofty. Next one is the brand awareness. So you can run sphere ads to your sphere. You can even run Google local service ads through Lofty, and Lofty Bloom, which is, once again, you're basically marketing through your zip code there. So lots of marketing opportunities throughout Lofty, which is one of my favorite parts about it. Next is going to be your tools. So you're going to have landing pages. So this is where we will build all of our landing pages. They got a ton of different templates on here. And when you have a listing through Lofty, it'll actually automatically give you a landing page here, but all of those will show up down here and you can edit those. I'll show you guys another video here soon on how to edit all of those. We also have the Social Studio. So if you pay for the Social Studio, I think Basic is free, but you can pay for like a growth or something like that, and it's like $20 a month or something. We'll see it over here when we hit the marketplace, but you can have all of your your listings being automatically posted on all your social media as well. And then we have the Lofty Present here. Once again, this is a paid subscription here, but this gives you like a full listing presentation, interactive CMA, and a whole bunch of cool stuff there. Lofty even has a print house, all right? So you can come in here and you can get, letters, postcards, birthday cards, whatever, and you can have that printed out And then you can even design them here inside of the design center. They got a bunch of templates and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool that they do actually have some print opportunities right there directly through the CRM. And then there's the open house form. So we can actually use our Lofty as a sign-in form inside our open houses. So you can have it on a tablet, or you can just bring it in with a QR code and have them scan it. It's pretty cool here. So you would just add a new one there. You could just choose the street address that you want, and we go ahead and save that. You can choose a questionnaire. You can even edit that questionnaire. And then you just go ahead and click save. And then you're going to see that we have this right here. And when I click on it, it'll automatically go through all of this. And then you got a QR code on the right-hand side right here that the lead can come in and want to see the open house, and they can scan that. And then that's how they'll sign in. And the best part is that I have a video on this that I'll go ahead and post up here as well. But you can tell them that, hey, I don't have any information on the house that's in paper form, but if you scan this QR code, I'll email all of that to you right away. So that way you have that, and then you're like saving the environment and stuff like that. So it's actually really, really cool. So going back here to the marketing tab, we also have text codes. So you can create text codes. So this is basically, text this code to this number and I'll send you the information type stuff there. So lots of options inside the marketing. Okay, moving on to reporting. Lofty's got some pretty cool reporting that can show you on your stats and data, right? So this is going to show all the new leads, all the calls. We can do this month. We can bring it down all the way from last year. So as you use Lofty more and more and you get more data in there and more leads in there, this will be a really good place to kind of go see, hey, what's happening in here? What's my open rate, right? Like if you look over here at email accountability, we can see emails. You can see what's been opened, what's been replied to. You can see your email performance here. If you're on a team, you can see all your team members' performance as well. If you're, you can see the summary of your business goal volume. So if you've got that ability to set the business goal, you'll be able to see the summary there, including performance by agent. And then you can go here and see your marketing. What are the most lead sources that are coming in through the system? You can see your website traffic as well, and any activities timeline. So the texting and the saving of properties and requesting showings will all show up there as well. So lots of really cool stuff on the reporting tab there as well. Next is the website, and that'll actually open up an entirely different tab. You can basically click onto that, and then that's going to take you over to a guided setup of the website. I'm going to do another video on this one here, but just to show you a little bit of an overview, they literally walk you through everything, including setting up the MLS, but I have a detailed video already that I will show you, or I can link here that you can watch. That'll show you how to get all the MLS set up all there. And then from there, you can just edit your website. Website editing is pretty much straightforward. Like I said, I'll do another video on that, but this is where you can do all the editing of your website. You can see the listings here, what MLSs you're hooked up to. You can make blogs for your website. You can choose specific areas. You can create widgets. You can do SEO optimization and a whole bunch of stuff. So I'll do a whole nother video just on the website side of Lofty here shortly. Okay, and then let's go to the Lofty Marketplace. So this is basically where you can buy all the leads or get anything else additional that Lofty offers that's not automatically included. So you see here they've got Lofty seller ads, they've got Google PPC ads, they've got Google local service ads, Bing PPC ads, Facebook dynamic ads, remarketing ads. You can do farming through Lofty. They've got the social studio that I talked about earlier. You can run those sphere ads, zip code blast, listing blast. They have it all on there. So super cool stuff there. So you can just scroll through that and see all of the stuff that they offer. They offer a power dialer. They've got text packages. You can do a whole bunch of stuff on this. So this is one of the cool things is it's like they got this a la carte menu where you can basically, pick and choose and just build your own customized version of your CRM and make it work for you. Next is the settings tab. So here's where you're going to be able to edit your settings. So you'll see all of your personal information here. You can go into the profile. You can change your name, your email address. You can connect all of your socials, all of that good stuff right here. If you look to the left, you'll see that menu on the left-hand side again. So you'll see we're right there in profile. If we click down here, we'll go to account and security, where you can enable two-factor authentication and just basically see anybody or any of the devices that are logged in on your account. So if you ever see something that's weird, you can just log it out there. Maybe you want to change your password after that. And then this one right here is important, account access. You want to make sure that's checked, because if you have an issue with your Lofty and you need to contact support, they won't be able to access your account if this isn't open there. So, or if this isn't checked right there. So just make sure that you have that checked. And then the data privacy one here, allow Lofty to train the AI model using your voice and textual data. I do, because I want the AI to get better, and it can only get better if we let it train off of us. So that is the account and security section here. And next is notifications. You can actually control all the notifications from the desktop app, including to the cell phone. So you've got email, text, and push to the app on your phones. So you just want to scroll through there and make sure that you have all of those notifications enabled or disabled for everything that you want. There are 2 tabs for that, so make sure you look over here in opportunities too. This is where like a lead saves the listing on the website or something like that, right? So you'd want to be able to choose how you want those notifications to come through. You can get just 1 notification, no notification, or all 3 notifications, okay? Moving on to integrations here, where you want to plug in your Gmail, your Office 365, your Google account, your Google Calendar, or your Calendly. They have so many integration capabilities. It's really cool. They've got BombBomb, Brokerment, Cloud CMA, Dotloop, SkySlope, DocuSign, all of it. So that's where you would do all the integrations on there. I'll do some videos and showing you guys how to integrate stuff so you can see, but it's pretty straightforward on that side of things. Next is going to be the My Organization side. So if you're on a separate instance account of Lofty or you have a team, you're going to see your whole team right there. And then the next is the communication. So this is where you can buy your dialer packages and your text packages here, where you'd select a personal number or choose a company number, and you can change all the settings for your call types here. Like Lofty actually has voice over IP calling, or VoIP, so you can actually call directly from your browser, which is one of my favorite things about it as well, is I don't have to bridge dial to my phone. But if you do want it to go to your cell phone, you can just click bridge dial there as well. Once you choose a personal number, you can have that be your default outbound call number and your text message number, which is cool, because unlike other CRMs, if we get used to using that personal number when we call through the app, or we call from our desktop, or we text through the app, or we text through our desktop, it'll all come from that one number. So now that's not coming from multiple numbers and causing confusion like we have on other CRMs, where you can only text from a certain number and then call from another number. That just creates that confusion. You can also adjust the microphone and speakers here. So if you have a specific microphone plugged in and you want to use a certain set of speakers, you can do that as well. And then you can choose call recording if they allow that in your area. And you can also forward incoming text messages to another number. Down here, you see the text subscription message here. This is for the unsubscribe link. It has to be there. It's going to be part of everybody's compliance here, especially as the new regulations take place here. So it's not something you can get rid of, unfortunately. If you are getting a lot of unsubscribes, like I always say, you're going to want to check out the messaging that you're sending, because if you're giving value, they won't unsubscribe. Okay. Next is going to be the email. So this is where we have all of our email templates, our automated emails, such as our welcome emails, property alerts, market snapshots, etc. We can customize each one of these emails individually here. And then you can choose to have it automatically go out. So I have other videos on this as well, where I'll show you how to do the entire buyer welcome email, seller welcome email, and make those look really cool. Email templates, you can create templates. So if you send one email to multiple leads and you don't want to rewrite that all the time, you can set it up as a template here. And then that way it's saved there. And we also will use these templates when we're setting up our smart plans. So if we ever have to make a change to those emails, we can change the template, and it'll also change them inside the smart plans. So I'll show you guys all that as well. And then you got your reports here. So all the emails that you're sending out, you can see the open rate for each type of email template that you're sending out. All right. Next thing is the Lofty AI. Once again, that was up in the marketplace as well, or in the marketing tab as well. So we've already gone over that. Now, lead settings. This is our lead capture. So if you want to hook up Realtor.com, Facebook ads, or Zillow, you can do that right through here. You can also connect all of these awesome lead providers as well. So Lofty, once again, has tons of integration possibilities. Next is lead routing. So if you are on a team, or you're a team owner, or you're an admin for a team, this is where the lead routing would go here. You can basically create any routing rules that you want. You just name the rule here and then just choose what you want it to be and how you want that lead to be passed out. You can have it set round robin, blasting, next up, or anything that you want on there. And you can even choose the time period in which it'll wait for the next person to come up, or for the blast alert to go out again. So really cool options there for lead routing. Next is going to be the tags. So this is where you're going to create new tags. And then once again, tags are where we can send leads down certain automation journeys based on what those tags entail. So you just create your tags here and those are all saved right there. Next is lead import. So here you can mass import your leads, or you can add them one by one in the People's tab. I also have another video that I'll link here that'll show you how to do all the mass importing as well. And then you could also create checklists, templates for your transactions. So that's pretty cool too. So you can make sure that you're getting everything checked off your list inside your transactions. All right, guys, there is an entire walkthrough of the whole Lofty platform. I hope you got value from this video. And if you did, please make sure to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on any awesome tutorials like this. And hey, if you want to go even deeper, I have a free course on AI in real estate and how to get started. Just go ahead and comment GPT below and I'll make sure to send you access to my free course and community where we'll teach you all the things that you need to know about getting started with AI so you can get started the right way. Once again, guys, thank you so much for geeking out with me and I'll catch you on the next video.